about this one too, and that's Ember Lone Druid. Those are the 2 TA counters right there. You also hit this window where you can play super fast. You've got tons of stuns, minions, creeps, and Lone Druid can just beat on the tower. It's similar to when we watched OG play the Ember. Thompson just wants to harass, be annoying. It's about buying space for, in his case, Slark, in this game, the Lone Druid, who will also have that added ability of just killing towers in the blink of an eye. NIP, what do they go here? Is there a cheese pick they've got in mind? Do they go for a standard Juggernaut? Not a huge fan of the hero. Feel like you don't want a safe lane Storm or anything weird like that. That's actually banned out.
Side lane Necrophos.
Okay. Yeah.
That's one of the hard counters to Ember in the laning phase.
You think it's going to be? You think it's going to be? What do you think the lanes are going to look like here? Side lane TA. I think TA.
No, it's TA mid.
Yeah. It's not the easiest of Necro games. There's the magic damage from Ember. There's a Grimstroke Silence.
Tone as well, so yeah, you know what, I'm just going to retire. That's all it's going to be. Like, well, I'll leave it to the Europeans to be the better commentators. That's why, like, I actually love like the Danish accents, the Swedish accents. They're like they're so like.
What about British accent, Toby? Like you can't compete with that.
There's a lot of different British accents. Like, you actually got to hit the right British accent, and then I find it very entertaining.
What about some Scottish or Irish? No one would understand what they're saying if they're from.
See, but that's when you get the tilt, the tint of the accent, and you get like the right stuff. Like if you should always get like Red Eye to talk the way he normally talks, like the way he was brought up to talk, and you wouldn't understand him. But that's what vocal training is for, isn't it beautiful? Oh, we found a way to scout the
observer board.
Yeah,
got it.
The bear is able to look around. It's like, I think I know where. Yeah, Pig, I found it, boys. Why is this a thing? It's only just become a thing with these mid lane wars. Oh,
really
look, got it, boys.
A thing lately. The Hawk, come closer, or FNG. He wants to eat it.
Oh, wait, no. They gotta be careful. They gotta be careful. Because Father's gonna deny it. No, he can't. He'll have to back off. Easy money.
100.
Yeah. All right. By the way, just as a side note, because like I'm just going to address this because Nahaz actually started this crap, even though technically I started in the previous introduction. Oh, nice 3 bounty runes. The reason why I actually said, and I have been trying to recorrect it and got the bad habit in the start, I started saying Saska instead of saying Saksa. The reason why I did that is because when I first cast him, I was actually watching Naruto for the first time ever, an anime I just never got around to, and Sasuke was in my head every single time. So I ended up getting this stupid hybrid in my head that I could never shake.
The question I have for you, Toby, are you still watching anime?
Yes.
Oh, I'm going to ask you for a good ones after.
Okay. Sure. I was actually watching Season 1 Attack on Titan finally. Just one of those things you had to get around to. Really, really good. Anyway, back to the game of Dota, because that's what we're here for. That's what we're meant to be doing, right? Like,
yeah, I guess so. So, really disgusting lane on bottom from NIP. Ace on Necrolite and PPD on Undying.
I think it's beautiful. I love it. It's gorgeous. It's bad. It's green. And that leaves like the Hawk up on the top lane with FNG. Very, very safe. It's going to be like the army of beasts, the army of summons that NIP have to try and clear through.
And look at PPD.
Yeah, this is all he can do. Like, he has to try and zone out the Centaur and just keep continuously stealing the health. 420 HP on a Centaur. He's doubled up the wave. And this leaves Immersion to have the one-on-one battle with Ace, who's doing a pretty damn good job. He's knocking Ace down.
Yeah, but PPD only has 1 mango left on his hero and already spent all of his mana. I mean, you steal the strength, but it basically deals not enough damage to harass. And the Centaur pulled the lane back.
And it's going to come under the tower, which is the only downside. Look at Peter. Yeah, he knows how much health he's got. He knows he can't be harassed out of this lane, so he may as well stay with him underneath the tier 1 and try and beat into Immersion. There's also going to be the other fun lane, Afro Ninja going up against Fada, like who's able to get on top of this lane. The Templar Assassin has been a highlight of the miner that NIP came through, and I look to see her doing exactly the same thing again here. Saksa, no, it's actually just FNG's trying to attack with this Alpha Wolf, just allowing the Hawk to creep skip out and hit it hard.
Yeah, FNG is actually an alpha male. What is he riding? What is that?
On the Oh, so this is the new one that came out with the Immortal. We're not showing this on the screen though, so we probably shouldn't talk about it too much.
We'll
but
talk about it
yeah,
when it's on the screen.
It's the gorilla mount of the Chen.
That's way too soon. They added Harambe into Dota 2, our Lord and Savior.
It's never too soon for Harambe. A little bit of a problem right now is Centaur's trying to run away from PPD once again. Already committed the Hoof Stomp, and like, how long can we continuously skip this out? I suppose Salve becomes a lot more efficient unless PPD can just reach him for one more punch, but no, you've already got almost a full live Centaur who's willing to try and turn onto PPD, realizing that he's pretty low on mana. Also trying to work with Immersion, who's rotated over. Oh, this bottom lane is
a lot of rotation. And it feels like
the creeps have spent more time out of the lane than in the lane on bot lane.
if they can catch FNG, he doesn't have a creep to interrupt the shackles. I mean, they have a bear, a Savage Roar, which is good, but if he gets caught in a bad position, they could easily score a first blood on him.
I do like the way that they use Savage Roar. Like Sandstorm, like if you walk out of range of it, obviously you're going to dispel it. And that's exactly what he does to the SK. Hard to just patiently sit inside of Sandstorm on the lane.
There's a wraparound on mid. The question is, does Fada want to use that
He's going for the rune.
healing salve?
What's Afro got? Oh, Flame Guard comes up, just wants to burn through Fada quickly. Fada, actually no, Afro, he bottled up the
That's
double
a
damage
first blood.
rune. And that's Fada going down, and Afro Ninja. That's the start he wanted, that's the start that his team wanted.
He
Get
killed him
Fada
for
on tilt.
559 gold.
What the hell? How's he worth that much? It's 1810 on the CS, and he was level almost 5, but now Afro is 5.
That doesn't sound right.
It includes the first blood goal, but all right. Math is great. Mid lane is rewarded, and it feels like mid lane is heavily tilted the opposite direction now as far as net worth goes.
That's a free boots for Ember Spirit, and now the lane is going to become a problem for TA.
It's created a 350 net worth difference between the TA as well as the Ember.
And they already have a Sentry Ward on a mid lane. That's the one that dewarded.
Look
it's
at
not going to
Gambit.
last long enough.
There, you can shackle up the bear. Okay, it's going to be a 2-for-2 trade-off. Obviously, there's nothing on bottom lane. I thought maybe the Ember would move off, but obviously you're winning your mid lane so heavily, and TA's gone jungle.
Oh, this is the dream for Sanking. Well, not if the Hog denies every single creep for you, especially the ranged ones, and they even pop the Sentry.
I love how he uses the Sandstorm because he knew the Savage Roar was burnt on the bounty rune, so nothing was going to stop him from doing this.
Well, Savage Roar is extremely good against Sanking if you can hit where he is to push him out of the Sandstorm.
Yeah. Oh,
Mid
Afro's
lane.
going again onto Fada. PPD's rotated over. And, well, oh, the shackles. He needs to be able to remnant back out. That's one Afro. Wait, he didn't have one up. Oh. That was definitely not part of the plan. Inkswell from Immersion, 33, got Burrow Strike available. Just needs to wait long enough to get away from the AoE of Immersion. He'll run up the hill and just try and waste more time as support is on the move once again. PPD, no longer a static laner. He is looking to be in every single lane.
Yeah, both of laners are not having a great time in this game. You can see a Centaur farming a jungle a little bit. When the lane pushes, he's kind of gonna come back to a lane, and Lone Druid already has Mask of Madness. Usually we see either Hand of Midas in the Radiance or Mask of Madness. With Mask of Madness, he has way more kill potential.
Yep. The slow going to connect over on PPD. The Wild Wing and the Alpha Wolf coming forward, but Fada's okay with that. He'll love to farm him up if he can. But the retreat's happening, but with the Mask of Madness pressures being applied towards the tower, so yep, NIP bring in more. It's going to be Ace, who actually rotates in to help the #1 net worth hero of NIP, committed to keep this Tier 1 tower alive and protect that jungle area that the TA needs. But look how quickly Dahak just moves TPs to bottom lane. And now it's only the Shaman down there. FNG blindly walking up. He was on a mission, a warding mission. There's nothing Immersion and Afro can do to save him.
Very nice drop placed by Fada already, and they're gonna clear all the creeps. Alpha Wolf, one more hit, that's gonna be enough.
Yeah, she stopped running. The Alpha Wolf gave up. Without my master, what am I?
Radiant structures are fortified.
The bottom lane is really getting hit hard. 33 is going to do something about it.
Oh,
He wanted
the plays.
The denies. Oh, TA Trap trying to do some damage back to Afro Ninja. Okay, Spirit committing in underneath the tower. Fart, however, went inside of Meld. So with the Ink Swell, you can get the stun you want, but it doesn't pull Farter out of the Meld.
Yeah, PPD had all the fun in the world, couple of minutes at the start using the decay, and now this is one of the most boring heroes to play. Like after the landing, you basically do nothing. You're just waiting to drop a tombstone, maybe heal someone up, and one of the biggest downsides of the hero is he can't push the lane. There's no way of him getting any farm on the map. Like you can't just sit on the lane and farm. You can't even jungle.
I wish everyone was able to hear what you were saying during the drafting phase. It's like, what have we got? It's either a disgusting hero or a boring hero. This is Lacoste analysis as we're just watching the draft. What's this? Boring. What's this? Disgusting. That's it. Only 2 classifications of heroes. Centaur having to hide in the trees and wait this out as Ace. They really can't threaten him at all. Not yet. Gambit need a little bit more pressure, and FNG's bring into the bottom lane. The warding mission happened. I think NIP actually saw both of those Observer wards planted down. Savage Roar happens, but it won't pull 33 out of the Savage Storm. Okay, wait, yeah. If at first you don't succeed, use a second one. The Silence over in the tree. Centaur Stomp number 1, Inkswell after the Centaur Stomp number 2, and the Entangle. Sure, everything you need to kill off 33 and take the tier 1 tower on bot lane.
Yeah, they only used 3 stuns and a fear to kill the Sanking and secure the tower.
Yeah.
This lone drug is getting so much.
Is there going to be some TP support on the way? Because Stampede is available, but nope. Reaper's Scythe, a fantastic ability against Centaur, putting him down for 40 seconds.
Yeah, most of the time you can see the mirror movement when enemy team is trying to kill your tier 1 tower. Your carry either TPs to the top lane and you try to secure it, and that's exactly what they did.
You just increase the speed though right now, Gambit. Like they're already pushing to the tier 2 tower. 33 can move into the tree line. And he'll go into Savage Roar. Dahakashi body blocking him up with the bear. 33 won't walk out of it. Ace has now come in to stop this as FNG's TP out will be successful.
Middle tower is under attack.
But Gambit trying to force the movement back from NIP.
Look at this little triangle on the map. The observer wards that Gambit placed. They see the shrine, they see behind the tier 2 tower, and this is where they're gonna play. Bounty runes will be picked up by the Hawk. Let's see how many they're gonna get. 2 for 2 trade.
You see where Dahak now turns his attention towards the mid-tier 1 tower. He could go back up towards the top, but that would be more of like the farming lane for the safer area, so no reason to put him up there. He needs to be the one on the front lines, and that allows the Centaur to go into recovery mode. Yeah,
the issue that NIP has right now is they can't start a fight if there's no sanking. TA can try to start with a trap. That they are better at counter-reacting.
Immersion lining up. Here's your Spirit jump forward. Uncertain what Afro was really trying to hit with that one, but the Sentry Ward is already down, so they see the SK hiding inside the Sandstorm. And nothing really comes from it. Gambit didn't want to jump too hard in.
Man, I wish I could trade my spot with PPD right now. I want to play some Undying.
Yeah. No, Lacoste, you can get yourself back into a professional team. I remember Online Kingdom International. Never forget, boys. Ace being charged down. The multiple stuns are coming in. Once again, FNG chaining his stuns nicely with the Inkswell. Spirit jump out and in, so Afro, he actually got the kill for it, even though it felt like he wasn't there when the death happened. But this is a kill that happens on a very far off lane. It does happen, of course, on the number 1 net worth of NIP. 270 gold for that kill.
Yeah, I love the build on this Necro. They need a core to scale who can go into super late game, because at one point TA falls off. And with the Radiance, Necro can do so much. Also, he has a Veil to amplify the magical damage that they have, and they really have a ton, especially with the Sanking and Undying as well.
So many TA traps in mid trying to protect them. That's where the Sentry Ward goes down from Gambit. Just out of range of the Sentry of NIP. NIP bring 4 heroes to the mid. They'll drop their own fresh Sentry. Oh, so quick on the bear. He actually Quelling Bladed that down. So a waste of money for NIP. Someone needs to head towards the top. There's a lot of farm. There's 2 lanes. Yeah, and Immersion's going to do it.
Immersion doesn't even have a point in his ulti because they have no spells they can use.
No synergy. Yeah. Yeah, what do you have? Like, I remember we're doing this check as well. It's like, so what do you have from Chen? And the funniest one we want to see is actually the mud columns.
But sadly, he has none. He had 3 centaurs the last time I saw Chen.
Yeah, and they all don't synergize. They're not targeted. Well, Centaur's able to afford up the hood. SK will get drums as well, so we start seeing these sustainable and team fight item for the SK arrive.
He has hood queued up, but I think he's gonna need an initiation item. They're gonna need that blink dagger on a Sanking because there's no way of them starting a fight. One way is to counter-react, and the other one is try to take a tower by force. You drop a tombstone, you drop Shadow Shaman wards, and you try to force a fight.
I can get like the hood to try and battle against the Radiance of the Lone Droid Bear, you know, is coming, and most of the initiation we've seen from teams has come on the back of like this long-range Shadow Shaman once he has the Ether Lens up and running. So I'm not saying it's not a bad thing. Blink Dagger at SK is great.
It depends how this game is gonna develop.
Yeah, like
we
how long
don't
does
see
this
much
go?
action. It's only 3-3, 13 minutes in.
Yep. This is a league game now. For anyone who was tuning in yesterday for that joke, that's part 2.
Man, I remember when I tried that game. I gave it a second shot a couple of years after and played the tutorial, uninstalled it, never touched it again.
Quality. You played more hours of Artifact.
Yep.
That's actually...
That's also a forbidden word.
It would not surprise me if you put more hours into that than you have most other games apart from Dota. Desolator's up for TA 14 minutes into the game, so we're starting to reach that nice damage peak.
I had 7 minutes of Counter-Strike played.
Huge, massive, unbelievable. Multi-game caster is Lacoste. Mid tower's being ripped apart by that bear. Dahak's taking care of it. PBD's just watching. There's nothing more he could do. In fact, oh yeah, there is. He can also die.
Well, that's what Undying is good for.
No, undying means not to die. It's kind of in the name. FNG missing the first stun. 33 will get his Burrow strike off. Support's coming over. He'll end up dusting quickly. With the extra slow, FNG can't get away. In fact, the Sideblade lineup for Fada is perfect.
Very nice usage of Sideblades there by Fada. FNG needs to stop going into that direction. This is the second time he died there. That's actually half of their kills.
But he's trying to get the information. They're trying to see the TA stack, so I understand the reasons why he's moving in. But it's definitely... The timing seems a bit off. Maybe he needs some distraction. Like, hey, can you cause a distraction so I can slip through the door? Kind of moment. I need an explosion on bottom lane. Pressure on bottom lane.
Seems like both cores will hit the Radiance timing pretty much at the same time.
You got a Veil from either side too, because we're not seeing like the damage build coming in from the Ember.
But the Centaur will have a Blink Dagger way sooner than a Sanking. You can see Sanking, he's still saving his goal to see what's gonna happen in the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, he's got Blink in the quick buy, so I suppose if he can save enough money to reach it, sure, get the Blink. Gambit are coming to bottom lane. This is a great way to do a warding mission. May want to drop a fresh sentry on that hillside. PPD, he's gonna break the smoke around the corner, and that's gonna save them from the initiation. And FNG pinged the position perfectly. It's like, does anyone have that sentry ward?
I don't think it's worth it for them to try to defend this tier 2 tower on bottom because
coming into 33.
Yeah, high risk, no reward gain. One sneaky play that the NIP can go for, since TA already has Deso, drop the Shadow Shaman wards and try to take it. Dire is using scan because a lot of the heroes are missing on the map.
Yeah, they thought maybe Roshan, but not the case. Gambit, because it took them so long to get rid of that Observe Ward, which was confirmed. They did get rid of it at least. They bought time, so double Blink Daggers, one for TA to go along with her Desolator, and the Centaur to have his. And the mass TPs come towards the mid lane. The first TA trap's already going off, and Fada, he wants to get aggressive. Secondary TA trap, Ember, he's actually kind of jumped over the top of everybody, but here comes your jump in. The heavy damage. Grimstroke's dead very, very quickly, but man, that Hoof Stomp follow-up, combining with the Chen Suns, and now Afro Ninja will join the fight as well. They're going to burn through the Templar Assassin. The Epicenter from 33 is half decent in the back lines, but not good enough. At least they get the kill into FNG, and that gives time for TA to blink away, but Afro re-engaging in, finding Shaman. The Reaper Scythe comes down. It's not enough damage to kill the Ember through the side, but he still will fall nonetheless. And then Immersion realizes he is in
That's
a
going
world
to be a dieback
of,
from Immersion. Both of these teams decided to take a fight before Radiance is up, but TA had a Blink Dagger, same goes for a Centaur. But overall, a big win for NIP. Now they're going to take a tier 1 tower on a mid lane, and
Peter pinged Roshan straight after,
Yeah.
but I don't know if they want to go in there straight away. There's still tier 2 towers they can add pressure to. All right, yeah, they do. They're going to...
I mean, Rune is spawning. It could be a double damage on top. Let's see if Dota gods are merciful.
1. And what do we got? So regen bottom. The Hawk's trying to hide on bottom lane. He still doesn't have that radiance, but he can add pressure to the tier 2 tower. If they're going to lose Roshan, they're going to lose Roshan. Sox is doing everything he possibly can to slow down that bear, and he can do a hell of a lot. He is Shaman. But Roshan, low on life. Here comes the Centaur. He'll need a blink right now if he wants to move forward, but the TA trap was going to stop that. He knew it, so it would have been potentially suicide.
It's really hard to approach Roche, especially when TA already set up the traps. Sanking was in a good spot, and he's still not buying anything. He only has a Ring of Health. Now Necro has a Radiance, so with that Veil, that's going to amplify their damage so much.
They saw where Fada jumped. They just need some quick detection. They know where he's melted. Actually, they should know where he's melted. They actually know it's on the other side of the tree line. Fire strike forward, now the Soul Bind, but already the Ember disengaged. Yeah, that Observe Ward actually doesn't see up perfectly through the tree line.
How many times, Toby, did I say that I hate Grimstroke, where you have no single target abilities, and I mean, you can see the downside.
6. I think we're on 6.
I stopped counting after 10th. I don't know.
Well, I'm...
Probably because you're not listening to me.
I'm sorry, what?
Got it.
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm always listening. Like Fraser Crane right there. I'm listening. What would you like to talk about?
Well, I can't say that on stream, but 8, 6, 20 minutes in, Bounty Runes are spawning in 20 seconds. Chen is getting closer towards his mech, so he's gonna amplify the heal, and they also have a Hand of God on top of it. But with that Aegis, NIP should start playing more aggressive. They have one Observer Ward on the bottom, which should scout Chen, and it's going to be a 2-for-2 trade again in terms of bounties.
It's actually kind of a weird place for Gambit to fight. Like, I get the whole, like, control the bottom lane. You've taken out the towers in like the tier 1 mid, as well as both of the tier 2s, the tier 1, tier 2s on bottom. But okay, maybe with the wraparound mid, they can move elsewhere, because this is where you know NIP will move. Ace, is there a Sleight of Fist Searing Chain to try and slow him down? There is from Atfo with the Stampede forward. Hoof Stomp, man, they're going to delete him so quickly. Goodbye Necro, and a follow-up silence into Suxa. He's trying to back off, but the Phantom's Embrace held him in position. Now the Hawk's Bear as well as Atfo go to work.
That's exactly what they needed. They need to take control of their jungle, because they already took a tier 2 tower on bottom, and there's nothing they can do. Even if they take a fight, there's no objectives they can take. So switch to top lane, farm up. There's a tier 1 and tier 2 tower.
So the walls they put down there, because obviously, like, do you want to keep your presence down there at all, or is it just so you understand we need to back off top?
Yeah.
Okay.
So both of these offlaners have full Pipe of Insight to mitigate the magical damage that both of these teams are heavy on.
And TA's got a BKB to work with as well. Undying's the one they're trying to initiate onto, coming down through the jungle. That Observe Ward sees the rotation. The rest of NIP 33 a little bit too short on his Burrow Strike in. They still want that kill on Undying. He's not going to pop. PPD is so low, 58 HP, but they find a better target over on the side. Necro, he thought he could come out to the shrine, but it won't happen. 33 under Sentry Ward, under detection. He'll fall too. Gambit getting back-to-back kills, and they're going to get the bigger one. The Templar Assassin, remember, she's got the Aegis Immortal, and BKB from Fada. The 10-second one's going to be burned. Can they get an entangle? That's what bears are good for, but the Hoof Stomp, oh, that'll work as well. Over into the Shaman, and the Sleight of Fist to catch PPD. He was trying to stick around to help. And now there's 4 heroes lost to NIP and Gambit. What did they trade? Nothing.
Ace died twice in a row, which was gonna set him back so badly. Also, NIP lost the vision that they had in enemy jungle and around the shrine, so they felt like they are safe in their own jungle. He TP'd and instantly died.
And that is NIP playing inside of Fog of War against Gambit, a team that wants to be aggressive. They got Lone Druid and Chen. They want to push you straight after as well, so it's punishing when you lose these fights. The Chen army has even been moved up so they can see the shrine area, so there's no way for NIP to say, okay, well, now we go for a wraparound.
Yeah, usually you have a problem when you're playing against this Shadow Shaman, a Tombstone, but with the Bear, with the Chen army, you can just easily focus it down.
Yeah. You just group up, right? Because at this point, Gambit, they know they can push, and it's kind of the upside. I can't even going to say this. It's the upside of not having big abilities that sync with the Grimstroke, because everything's just so easy to spam out. Of course, you could always have Shaman, and that's easy to spam out too, but...
FNG knows something is up, and this should get rewarded. Like, this high ground, Observe Ward, and the Sentry, it's a place where a lot of the teams are losing the game. They know something is up. FNG is the one who's reading the map movement well, and they just smoked and they lost ages.
And it's the better thing though, because they put a secondary Observe Ward just to the south of that, so they still have so much information that wouldn't have been dewarded under the Observer and Sentry. Now Gambit will run into NIP. The Hofstomp comes in. They want that initiation over on the Necro once more, but the BKB's trigger from Fada. He's able to stand his ground, trying to kill off that Centaur, but Stampede. Everyone just Delta splits back out. The Epicenter's catching the back lines. FNG trapped in the Mount Serpent Wards, and Fada will put him down with the Metal Strike attack, but Afro, he still wants his own fight. Maybe he doesn't. Hex up Sakska. Has he actually got enough control? Yep, Sakska does. And the strike down. Maybe enough to get the kill? Yep, he just walks up next to the Centaur to find the kill. Looks like Immersion will also go.
He's gone. They need to protect this Necrolite. In the previous fight, they couldn't get the Soul Rip off. Now they did, and they also focused the Phantom so he can get the spells off. If they can't kill him through initial burst, this Necro will pop a Ghost Shroud, even though they have a lot of magical damage, but he will also amplify the heal for himself and keep himself alive. After that, they still have no defensive items. Like Ember Spirit is all in. He has a Maelstrom, he has a Veil.
Also, somebody shoot me for doing that mistake. I apologize again. Well, it's just like such an idiotic thing. Anyway, let me just pull myself out of my pit of depression and back to the game, which is at least leveled up. So entertainment is what's on the cards. We're actually pretty much like 2K. Like that's the swing that the net worth is moving up and down on. Looking for these 25-minute bounty runes. Gambit are able to claim both the bottoms. Both the tops will go to NIP, keeping things even Stevens.
Usually, BKB is not the item that you want to get on Necrophos because it doesn't synergize with your Ghost Shroud since you can't pop it. But in this game, I think it's justified because of all the magical damage that they have, and basically they have no physical damage at all besides Bear hitting him. So
you kind of wish, though, I was like, with the jump, if you don't get the BKB from each other, unwillingly bound, Gambit clean up the, well, what ended up looking like a support. It was a core and a support.
Yeah, that's
now mop up the Tombstone too.
Good fear from the Hawk there with his Bear. On top of Soulbind, of course, Fada. He's getting caught, has 8-second BKB to work with.
He'll still feel pretty confident. He's building into that Orchid. So they'll have some kind of answer to the Ember Spirit.
Yeah, he wants to cut into backlines and be able to either kill Ember Spirit or just completely lock down Grimstroke. Grimstroke also does not have a defensive item.
I wonder if Ember starts thinking about building into like Lincoln's or something along those lines, because he's building a Shiva's Guard at the moment.
He has one queued up.
He needs an armor answer to TA.
Maybe he thinks that Centaur ulti plus a pipe, Chen heal will keep him alive.
It sounds like a good argument to me. Sox has just backed himself up 33. Man, is he playing bait again? The Dust, he'll Pyro Strike down, Slide of Fist. They've already got the Phantom Embrace. Sox gonna throw over from the tree lines, able to get the Hex off, but with the Inkswell, they're getting so much damage. Soul Rip, everything PPD can do to keep him alive is still not enough. The Tombstone is dropped, but the Bear moves forward to mop it up. PPD Soul Rip will keep this up a little bit longer. And a little bit's only a couple of seconds.
Yeah, that Bear with Mask of Madness, once you put it on the Tombstone, he's just gone. The lanes, mid lane and bottom lane is in good position for NIP, but GAMBIT, they can take this tier 2 tower with a force, and Roche is there.
And they already TP'd Ember to the bottom lane. He can clean up, and if he has a remnant up, which I think he does, he can just jump back in when they find this opportunity. Oh, once again, a support a little bit too far up. I think he was looking for the denial on the tower. There's not much other reason to be there. Either way, that's GAMBIT claiming a tower, claiming yet another kill, and with Roshan alive, they should be able to claim him as well.
I feel like GAMBIT is doing a way better job at warding and de-warding. This is what the FNG was always good with.
All right, NIP. 5-man smoke up. Who is the target? The Observer Ward is watching mid. That's the one thing they have. They watch the blink up from Centaur. They know they've gone inside the jungle.
Sucks about back. They thought they're gonna go into the Roche pit. They had no traps inside. And now they want to make something happen.
But there's no one there. All of GAMBIT's up on top lane. The creep wave will push in. Fire's gonna break smoke. So GAMBIT can ping this out and they'll know where they are. Shen's even making this movement in more high ground vision. Now Fada wants to do mid tier 2 tower. The bear is nearby. So Mass Serpent wants, okay, NIP's really committing to that. Now you actually go up.
GAMBIT wants to fight. GAMBIT's gonna go for tier 3s because they saw, or they can go into Roche pit because they saw wards being used, and
that was a huge commitment for something which looked to be in the bag.
Tower. Yeah.
Like the Mass Serpent wants at least hold the wave in position, but okay, yeah, GAMBIT back off. They let Ember deal with the mid lane. He still always leaves that remnant behind so he can stay with the rest of GAMBIT.
Roche is being pinged out, but they have no sentries inside, so this trap will scout him out.
There's your BKB for the Necro. So NIP may be feeling a little bit more confident.
Look at this, another Observer Ward. They can see every movement from NIP. I'm a bit surprised that GAMBIT didn't use this and go straight into Roche pit. With this extremely farm bear, Roche dies so quickly. Arcane Rune, that's gonna be a really good one for Ember.
It's kind of funny to watch Ember Spirit actually change his item build mid item. He's got a Shiva's gun in his stash, and he's actually going now into, I think it's like the Lotus Orb.
He needs to have a defensive item. It's such a great item overall against the Shadow Shaman, against the Sanking. It also gives him the armor.
He can actually finish up the Shivas. He has the money for it. He just doesn't have it in quick buy.
He decided to go for it because he saw Orchid on a TA, and it's kind of late to go for Yule Scepter right now.
Centaur has a fresh Axe coming into this fight, and Dead IP, they are looking for it. The Hawk's got the bear on the front lines, right on top of the TA traps, and Zakska is sitting in the tree lines. The bear's looking for him, keeping the Radiance Burn up. Ace is a long way up this lane as well. A quick slow from the Grimstroke. And they're starting the double tornadoes. Heading in towards the mid. Fada jumping onto the Hawk's bear, looking for the hit, but in the back lines, Afro Ninja, he found his own target as PPD's undying. They'll silence him up. Now he hooks on, but double BKB's committed. And all they want to do is just get the hell out of here with that Aghanim Stampede. They go straight up the hill, wasting the BKBs. Want to disengage. 33 from down inside the trees. They can see him now. Savage Roar and push him back, but Afro, he needs to help out his teammates a little bit more. Fada is so isolated. Zakska, that's a heavy jump in, but a Sleight of Fist with the stuns. They just Spirit Commit, killing off Fada. He has buyback available, but he'll lose his entire team by the time he gets there. This Necro will definitely be dead. Even the Entangle at the end to kill him off, but...
Centaur goes in. He was holding that ulti for so long, goes in, and with the high cast animation, baits 2 BKBs, which is the most important thing because there's such a high magical damage on side of GAMBIT, and the user's ulti still dies, but they got 3 on side of NIP.
I love this from GAMBIT. Who cares about Roshan? You have tower pushes, force the buyback. If they don't buy back, you take mid-racks. And they've got the creep wave with them. The TA traps were not fully prepared to get rid of all of them. It's not healthy, but it gets close enough to make sure there's no backdoor protection. So Dahak, look at that bear go. He's ripping everything. 33 will Burrow Strike forward. Careful of detection. Buyback comes in from the TA. And they're already retreating back out again. GAMBIT get what they want. Now they can remove the shrine, and this makes Roshan a lot more appetizing.
Now they're gonna go for a shrine so that they can't approach from that side. PPD drawing on a minimap, they want to do a wraparound, but they're still not alive because Saksa bought back in the previous fight and now he died. Also, they can just send the bear on the top lane, outpush it, bottom lane is in a good spot. NIP knows that if they lose the next fight or the one near the Roche pit, they're gonna lose the game.
Shackle follow-up. This is all on the Centaur. They are bringing 5 heroes to kill off Half-Life. Stampede, he'll move through the trees.
Scepter.
Right now, Greenpeace has a couple of complaints for him. The TA trap is right on the mark from Fada. They jump in, but no! Chen! He actually grabbed him and pulled him out!
What a perfect timing, Toby. Keep going. Peppa Jam, let's go.
Hawkeye, save me. Oh, boy. Gambit. That is beautiful. That is actually hilariously beautiful. And NIP, like, they got to feel robbed. That felt totally robbed. Fada played it perfectly by seeing what the trap was. He knew how far he went in. They tracked him through the trees, and it still wasn't enough. Now a 4-man smoker from NIP. What do? Are they actually going to go YOLO into Roshan? There's a tornado in there. If they start Roshan, it will be detected.
They also have a sentry ward prepared for the traps and for the sanking. Smoke from NIP.
Oh, we get to watch it again. Here's the run through the trees. Watch that pullback. Watch that pullback. And
trap.
Got him.
This is what happened, Toby. The trap gave him the damage, but it didn't cancel because he popped the pipe.
Not enough. Next level.
That's next level play right there.
Love it. So now the bear just keeps pressure on bottom lane. Gambit open up the map once more. They're pushing their advantage further and further ahead. 11,000 is now their gold lead.
Yeah, Sanking has a Blink Dagger, so he can initiate. Even with the Radiance up, he can do the same thing, pop the pipe, and still get the good initiation with the Epi.
Gambit's trying to get vision control once again around this top part of the map. The army is waiting in the trees. That Wild Wing almost blends perfectly, but 33 is like, I see something pink at the trees. Hoof Stomp begins over on the Necro. Follow up. It is just a straight jump in. Why does he feel like such bait? 33 now gets the Burrow Strike forward. Massive Woods good in the back lines. FNG's going to be trapped in here. He may as well Hand of God. Actually, he doesn't. You just stampede yourself away. Wait, get into Roshan, FNG. He needed to get over the hill, but he couldn't find a way out. And the Slider Fist damage.
So low.
So much damage. And now with the double Phantom's Embrace, they're silenced up. Ace can BKB, but it feels way too little, way too late. Buyback on the Undying. 33 comes in with the Epicenter. They have a follow-up silence, but support is there, and they still can't find the kill. Ember Spirit was protected by the Glimmer Cape, and now the Lotus Orb is up. There's no way to counter-initiate. A double kill for Tahak. And if they keep this rampage going, Gambit will just take the victory. Everyone from NIP is just having to buy back and burn it.
They need to hit that epicenter to win a team fight, and they are going for Ember Spirit, who's sitting on 37 armor and the Lotus Orb. They also have a saving capability with that Glimmer Cape, and
if they don't take the flame guard off, like how are you meant to get through that? Like it's so much resistance. And goodbye, Roshan.
That's Cheese and Aegis. Afterlife's itemization in this game is perfect. No Crimson Guard because they don't have that much physical damage besides TA, and the spell, I mean the damage block does not work against the Shadow Shaman ward, so no point in going for it. So Hood, Pipe, and then straight into Aghanim Scepter right after the blink.
Yeah, and you've seen it how effective that's been.
Yeah, and they can always run from Tombstone, they can run from Shadow Shaman wards and choose a fight.
The 3-man TP out to the side shrine. They're going to actually find in the tree line. So Fada just blinked himself forward. They saw Lone Druid for a moment. FNG was underneath the Observer and Sentry ward, but the issue is over on the side. It's Tahak who just brings his bear over, and this is where NIP, they had an idea. They wanted to come out and fight, but the target they found, only half of their team was there to battle him.
That's a DD Ember Spirit with the Lotus Orb. There's no way he's Ang. Chen does not have ulti right now.
His only issue is he doesn't have enough mana, so he's bottling up what he can.
They have two strong frontliners. You have this bear, you have a centaur, and there's an Aghanim Scepter to reduce the incoming damage as well.
God.
Saksa, another buyback.
Another Mjolnir. Already up and running. Hex. That's a long range. Lotus Orb still protecting the bear, which is attacking the tower. They have lost their creep wave, and IP have no way to really get in behind it.
Lanes are in a good position, so they can commit.
Yeah, Fada. I don't know if they see him over on the side. Mel strikes in towards the bed. Lozov's offering a lot of protection. Now the root, it actually connects over on Fada. Soulbind 33 gets his Power Strike forward, but it's over on the Centaur, pushing him down and away. The BKB's being burnt as again, Gambit, all he want to do is bait this out so they can just reinsert. Tombstone drop, BKBs, everything went from NIP and Gambit just didn't fight. Mass Serpent wasn't, at least Epicenter were not used.
Yeah, the problem is NIP can't really outpush the lanes. They can't be on the side lanes. But Gambit can push it with the bear. They can have a hero TP and then Chant TPs them back.
The bear's taking care of bottom lane right now.
That's the last bear. He just resummoned it.
Okay, so Dahak attacking with the bear. The TA traps are hitting hard. Another horse storm forward, going on the Necro. The Bars from 33 trying to create some more space for the fear. They're just running away, and that's not means they're not fighting. The Necro is down. Buybacks available. Another Stampede going to work. Horse storm forward. You can say goodbye to basically everyone from NIP. Afro is standing on top of the racks. Now they'll go back to objective-based gaming. TA is dead for 2 minutes. GG is right. This game is over. Gambit. It was the bleed, the slow bleed of NIP. And they are now one